In today's episode, I had the pleasure to talk with Hidetaka Yosumi. He's a character supervisor and character TD with many years of experience working in big studios like Square Enix or Disney Studios, to name a few. Now he lives in Spain, from where he continues to work on international projects. We talk about his career path, the new studio that he's about to open, and his amazing rigging tools that he will be releasing soon. Let's start. How do you end up being where you are now?
Yeah, actually I was studying engineering, electron engineering at the university to be an engineer, like more hardware actually. But I watched Terminator 3 when I was, Terminator 2, I'm sorry, Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah.
When I was before university actually. High school. That was the time when they started using the computer graphics a lot, especially for the character. There was one character, the liquid metal character.
Yes, very famous.
The form, and very famous, shocking. And it was shocked me a lot because I loved movies, but I studied the engineering. And this engineering world and computer animation film, like a movie, didn't connect at that time. But that's the moment maybe if I study the computer graphics, maybe I can work on the movies. So that was kind of like a brief idea stayed in my mind, but not enough to change my course. But so I entered the hardware electron engineering course for the university. So I was researching the semiconductor or those hardware stuff. But 1996, when I was in the university, Toy Story first one came out. Then it was last draw, like that's the final, like, okay, this is what I want.
I see.
So now you can create everything in the computer for the film, for the movies. So then I changed my major from electron engineering to computer science. To study the computer science. So I finished the school, university, and I went to graduate school to study the computer science. So, but then 1998, I got the job at the Polygon Pictures.
Oh, yes. Very famous.
As an engineer, as a CG engineer.
Wow. Which project did you did there? Like back in that time? Polygon Family, Crocodiles?
Crocodile, yeah, I worked on the Crocodile.
I love that one.
But that was actually a few years. I started as an engineer at the Dream Picture Studio, which is already gone long time ago. It was Polygon Pictures, Namco, and Sony Computer. They created a new animation studio in Tokyo for produce the first future animation film in Japan. But the project got canceled. Then I kept working at the Polygon Pictures. But as an engineer, I developed the rigging system for the productions. Then moved to Square Enix and to work on the Final Fantasy video games.
Nice. So.
And as an engineer, then at that time there was Final Fantasy movies from Hawaii.
You went to Hawaii to work there?
No, I was in Tokyo. I was working on the video game part.
All the video game part.
Final Fantasy 10 and 11 and Kingdom Hearts, and to develop the rigging kind of pipeline system.
So you were on the like the game section of Square Enix, because they have ImageWorks. I think it's Square Enix is Image
Square
Enix or Visual Works.
No, Visual Works. Square Visual Works. Not
Yeah, so there is, yeah, because I know some people
Division,
work,
yeah.
there's the division that it's like pre-rendered thing, and then it's
Yeah,
the
where
game.
all the cinematic movies, like opening and ending.
Yeah.
So I was there the engineer. So I really working like really beginning of this computer animation. It was a Maya beta version and like a 1.0 version.
Yes, in 97, around 97, 98, I went to study in Madrid. I think it was in 97, and I studied soft image. And they just install it in another like they have in the school they have only two class. One was soft image and the other was fresh install Maya. And I remember we went there. What is the new software? Crappy software.
Yeah, it was. Beginning was there's no skin cluster, like only the rigid bind.
With the lattice.
With the lattice. Yes. And I was a engineer, like developing the tool. So it was beginning of the mail script. There was no documentation.
Oh, really?
So I had to see all the script editor always there, and every command, every process made command popped up. So I was
wow. That must be exciting and pain at the same time.
It was a fun time.
Wow.
So after Final Fantasy movies, because of this, Final Fantasy movie didn't make a lot of money. There was no animation, computer graphics animation project in Japan anymore. So that's why I left Japan, and my first work outside of Japan was in London. Working on the Variant at the Vanguard Animation Studio.
Variant, the one with the pigeons, I think.
The one with the pigeon in the World War II.
So
I developed the animation tools and rigging tools, and during this process from Square and Polygon and this Vanguard Animation, I was always helping writing the tools for the character development. And I really started being interested in the rigging system itself. Then after I finished this Vanguard Animation, and I got an interview with the Walt Disney. At that time, Walt Disney Animation created a new studio for Toy Story 3.
So that was, well, I'm sorry, I'm just
2004.
2005, where they did already merge with Pixar.
Yes. Before merge, there was a studio. It's called Circle 7 Studios, right next to the World Animation Studios, and that's where they created for developing the Toy Story 3.
I didn't know.
Then I got the job interview, and they hired me, but they wanted to hire me as a programmer engineer, but I said no. I wanted to be a character TD. So I wanted to focus on developing the character in production. Instead of writing the script for production, I wanted to do that by myself, in the production,
like the asset work.
Asset work, yes.
Interesting.
Then I got the job in the Circle 7, but after a few months later, Disney merged with Pixar. So this Toy Story 3 project is canceled. Because
this version of the Story 3 because it was later. Story 3, I mean, was released, so it's there.
Yeah.
But that version or that initial, But you must be there to know that. I mean, I didn't know. I think.
Yeah, that was actually a really interesting era at Disney. Yeah, that was when I started. That was during the end of the Meet of the Robinsons productions.
Yeah, and after that, it was Rapunzel or no?
After that, that's a Bolt.
Bolt, yeah.
Bolt.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. That was the
first good one, I think.
Yes, that was actually the first movie John Lasseter came to the as a chief creative officer in the Walt Disney Animation Studios. So he took over all the creative process. So that was a very, very interesting because they changed an entire process of the creative production.
It must be very interesting to work in that times there. Like
it was I was a kind of witness to like this big change in the Walt Disney, and John Lasseter wanted to get back old this Disney traditional animation style, like princess movies and stuff.
They did Tiana, the one with the frog, the tiara.
Yes, Princess Frog Princess.
Yeah, I don't remember how it was. Yeah. That was under that umbrella, no? Like
yes, that was John Lasseter's decision to bring the 2D animation, because that was the beauty of the Walt Disney, and we are so excited. Even I wasn't a computer animation guy, computer graphics animation guy, but when they started to bring the 2D animation back in the Walt Disney Animation Studios, we are so excited.
Wow, that's very interesting time to witness there. Like really cool. Yeah. So you went there, and you've been there for many years, I guess, in Disney.
6 years.
Wow, that's a lot.
6 years. So my highlight at the Walt Disney was Rapunzel, like a Tangled. And I had a chance to work with Graham King.
Yeah, that was, I think that movie was the one that really like break, like before was like more like good movies, but didn't like Pixar was doing like super like breaking the box office, but Disney was struggling a little bit. But then I think was Tangled, and after that what's
Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, it was Wreck-It Ralph, and then
Ralph.
But I think that
and
was
Frozen.
Exactly. That is when they started this new era with I think with Tangled. Then they are breaking all the records, movie after movie, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I was the beginning of that era.
Yeah, I had the chance. I mean, I was in Montreal back then, and like Rick Ritter contacted me to work in Wreck-It Ralph, but I say no. I just arrived to Montreal. I felt bad for my boss, and I say no, it's not good. I regret, but
well, we could work together then.
Yeah, probably. I never know. Well, I didn't make the interview. Maybe they didn't hire me after, but unless I had this chance and one of the life, and I just say no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Because I felt bad. I just arrived there. My boss like spent some money to bring me from Spain. Like,
and moving from Montreal to Los Angeles is huge change, big change.
So, but yeah, I don't regret. Well, sometimes maybe, but yeah. But it was a really.
We always.
Yeah, you always regret what you didn't make. You know, not what you did.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, nice. Wow. And then, so you went there and you stayed there, and
6 years.
And they decided to go to Spain directly from.
No. So actually, after Wreck-It Ralph, so 6 years, and my friend introduced me to the Mark Osborne. Who directed Kung Fu Panda at DreamWorks.
Yes.
And we met, and they are looking for somebody who can be in charge of the character development as a character supervisor. And he showed me the pitch about his idea, this Little Prince book from the Saint-Exupéry.
Oh yeah, the Little
famous
Prince.
book,
Yeah.
So he had this idea to make this animation film of this Little Prince, and they wanted me to in charge of the character in the 3D character in this film.
Yeah, because it was a stop motion and 3D.
Yeah, the big challenge was he wanted to use these two different formats. One is the stop motion, and stop motion is tell the story exactly from the book. And CG part, animation part, is more like a real world in this animation film. So they switch between this book, Saint-Exupéry's book world and real world. Real world is CG animation. Stop motion is from the book world.
I see.
And I was so worried. I mean, I was so scared because I know that everybody would love stop motion animation.
Yeah, big
then
fan.
If you switch to the CG animation, everybody might hate because of the stop motion is more like artistic and craftsmanship. Like you can see the artist's hands.
Yes. Yes, it's a
physicality
to the
like a detail.
Exists there. It's something magic.
Real.
Yes.
You can touch, and I want to touch this beautiful art form. On the other hand, computer is like always cold and very
it's not cold.
materialistic. Yeah, but at that time,
wow.
So it was a big challenge, but I wanted to take that challenge. Like my goal, my mission on this project is when audience switch from the motion stop motion to the come back to the real world. If they don't feel like weird feeling, like took off from the screen, that was kind of I wanted to keep audience keep into the story from the switch, stop motion to CG animation. I don't know it was successful, but I didn't hear too much complaint.
I didn't watch the movie, but I saw some of the trailers and some of like clips, and I think it's beautiful. I cannot. I mean, I don't have any idea how works on like in story, but as an artistic point of view, like where you can see the artist working on the project, there's beautiful. All the renders, the art direction. I mean, it's a top for me. But I have to watch it. Why I didn't watch that one? I really like the book. I read it when I was a kid.
I heard that some of the mother, or it's kind of the mother and the daughter's story. So some of the mother that cry in the theater. So that's when I heard that story. Okay, that's something I wanted to contribute. And we did a really focus on the really details. Like for example, the main character girl it's not a symmetric. It's like really tiny asymmetric. The eyes a little bit up on the left and on the right. Kind of the size is different.
So do you work all this like from the base asymmetrical?
That was too much work, as you know, as a rigger.
Yeah, I'm asking because it's like wow.
Model itself is symmetric, but when you finish the rig with animation supervisor or animation director Jason Booth, we tweak the animation control to change to make it asymmetric. It's very subtle.
So you use the rig to art direct also the final default pose of the character.
So but I developed the facial and body rig system from the scratch on this project.
Oh wow!
So this facial rig has kind of like you move the animation control, then you have a value and a transform attribute to move the animation control. But you can put this value to the offset node. Like above the animation control.
Yes.
So when you do that, animation control is all zero out, but has a little bit asymmetric.
Yeah,
we developed.
Yeah, you developed that like. I was about to say I did this, but in a very cheap way for a cheap production for background characters. that, but it's not the same. I mean, it was more like to change proportion.
Make, like a
kind of
proportion to make a different variation.
But for the facial, that's another story.
That's another story. Yeah.
It's more difficult.
So I was in Paris and Montreal in this project. Then after I finished this project, I wanted to go back to Europe. I love in the culture in Europe. So that's why I got a job in the Ideon animation studio.
Oh yes, very
in Madrid. So then I moved to Madrid.
Yeah, and then you stay because you like it.
And then I stay. Yes, it's been 6 years. No, 6 years. I think 6 years.
And how is your Spanish? It's
work in progress.
Yeah, like my Japanese. I'm terrible.
It's so hard.
I've been same time as you, like 6 years and a half here.
Yeah.
And my Japanese, it's very rudimentary. I mean, it's enough to work.
Yeah.
Like if I regular like work, especially if it's rigging or like CG conversations, I can handle like this.
Yeah, because you speak the kind of same language.
Yeah.
In Maya or.
But when you go for more casual conversation, it's super difficult Japanese.
Super difficult,
how you do that? I can. And you have these levels of like if you use your boss or someone you don't know, if it's your friend or.
That's it. Yeah.
And I always like. I make so much mistakes. I guess I'm okay. It's okay because I'm for beginners. So then people understand.
Think they have a tolerance.
Yeah, but I'm probably like saying something super awful, or I mistake many words sometimes because
there's some funny story like foreigners.
Yes.
American guy learned Japanese, so they wanted to impress Japanese people. So friend of him had a daughter, like maybe 9 or 8 years old. So she wear the really colorful clothes. So he wanted to say, "Oh, you have a very colorful clothes." In Japanese, he said, "Ah, you have a very iroppoi fuku desu ne." Iroppoi means kind of sexual. Like sexy clothes. But iroppoi means a lot of color.
Yeah, iro means
iro. Iroppoi. Poi is kind of the adjective. Iroppoi.
Yeah.
If you add the poi, it's kind of the adjective.
Yeah.
So he used the iroppoi.
Yeah, for the people who's listening to the podcast, let me. So iro means a color in Japanese, but when you say iro, it's a lot. So you can say iro. It's kind of a like a words game also because iro.
Yeah.
And it's many colors or colorful.
Many colors. And if you put add a poi at the end, at end of the noun, it's become adjective.
Yes, exactly. Like if you have
poi.
Yeah, this is style poi. Like you say, let me put an example. Like if you say something it's hard, you say maybe katai poi. It's a bit
poi.
or yawarakai poi. Soft.
Poi.
It's a bit soft. It's kind of. Yeah.
So he put the iro color. Iroppoi, but iroppoi literally means sexy.
I didn't know that. I will make the same mistake.
Yeah. So that's kind of the mistake. But in Spanish, it's so hard for me.
Oh, really?
There's so many conjunction. Different time.
Yeah, the times.
Like you change
gender
the verb.
also.
You change the verb based on the time how you like. So when you say single paragraph, single things
like singular or plural.
Yeah, plural. You have to change
Yes.
if it's a singular, plural.
Yeah, that's true.
Genders, time. So
yeah.
So many things you have to remember or learn before you say.
I feel you.
Give me a beer or.
Well, dame una cerveza, por favor.
That's easy. Yeah. That's good.
In Japanese, for the people interested, it's hitotsunama, futatsunama. It's one beer, two beer. if I have to ask three, it's mitsu.
Mitsu.
And then I don't know how to ask more.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's more people, I don't know. The counting in Japanese is so difficult.
So difficult. Yeah, it's like a conjugation of verbo
crazy.
in Spanish.
Depending on like.
Yeah. We only have a past sentence and present sentence for the verb, but counting is hundreds of different counting based on the object.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I guess the people who's interested on Japanese, it's gonna be a very interesting podcast because it's very. I mean, I always find interesting these differences, and especially with someone like you living in Spain. So I feel like more closer to the feeling, Tokyo, but invert.
We're exchanging the country.
Oh yeah, sorry. But going back to the topic, do you? So you went to Ilion, and what do you theme park was it?
Theme park, Wonder Park.
Oh, Wonder Park,
Wonder Park, as a CG supervisor.
Oh, nice.
I was in charge of the character development, supervising. It was really, really good experience, and especially I found out that Spain is the country where you can find artistically talented people.
Thank you.
And think about it, like history, the Picasso, Dali. Those, like artistically, they're really unique.
Wow, but in Japan, I think every well, I don't feel like that special as Spanish. I feel maybe for me, other like Japan, it has also a lot of art and history on different. Like I love ukiyo-e, and I love all the like all the little folklore that you have with all.
That kind of thing. What I'm saying that I think I felt something simple, like a similarity in a way. Japanese culture or Spanish culture. It's the color way, like it's very different, but the attitude or like a kind of detail oriented.
Yeah, maybe you know where I find close Spain and Japan. It's not the food. I mean, the gastronomy is different. But many of the base of the food is the same. Ingredients are very close. Like, for instance, I'm from Valencia. We eat paella all the time, like rice, and it's basic here also. And there is not too many. For instance, octopus taco. There is not too many. Not too many countries eat.
Too many cultures eat octopus.
And they have like kind of like this high value for like this animal, no? Like, and I found like this kind of closer and a lot of fish. I think Spain is not an island, but it's almost like a peninsula. So
I thought Japan is the only country who eat octopus that much, but I eat more octopus in Spain than when I was in Japan.
Yeah, you have. I think where you now in Tenerife, you must have a lot of mojo picon. Different, and I think with octopus must be delicious too. Some mojo picon.
So also that's something like you have a spice.
Yeah,
there's got so many different spices.
Yeah, well, depends on the area. In Valencia we don't have that much, but I think like mojo picon, of course. Picon means spicy, basically.
Spice, yeah. I got this mojo picon the spice, and I put like a steak, beef, or
I love
chicken.
The shichimi, kuro shichimi, or
shichimi. Yeah,
yuzu
like
shichimi. Yuzu,
shichimi.
I put this on everywhere. I love it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Spain, there's the best tuna. Like tuna, you catch
tuna.
It's really good tuna in Spain, and I go to Mercado market, like fish market.
Oh yeah.
It's like a Tsukiji market. It's like you have a really good tuna.
Yeah.
Not frozen, like a fresh tuna.
No, not fresh from the day.
I make sushi more in Spain than Japan because
but you know,
a really good tuna.
Funny thing, like when I met my wife on Malaga many years ago, like, well, actually 20 years ago. And when she told me when she arrived to Spain, toro, the white part of the tuna, was not like very appreciated because the Spanish liked the red one. So that was almost like super cheap, or sometimes the fisher in the market, they give it for free. And then after she's living for a few years, the demand of toro, or the part of the tuna, increased it, and they changed the price. When she arrived, was very cheap, almost free. And when we left Spain, was of course the most expensive part because the people learn it from Japanese people. It's
people learn how to eat like fresh.
And today, but I really love the like Spanish market is here in Japan. Of course, you have a very good fish, but it's different. The market when you go to the supermarket or the shops, is small part you can get them, and some markets have bigger. And of course, if you go to Tsukiji, or now I don't remember the name of the new one, you it's crazy there. You get but in Spain you have these small markets that you can find like crazy amount of like big fish there.
That's actually the another reason I decided to stay in Spain. Like I live in the center, like Shibuya or Shinjuku of Madrid. But there's so many mercado where like inside of the mercado, inside of the structure, there's a small fish market, or the producer of the vegetables, meat, and some of the shops is only selling the chicken. Egg and chicken meat.
But how you say in Japanese?
Every small, it's kodawari. Every shops it's specified something. So then they sell the really fresh, fresh food. Fresh
I miss that part. I love. When I was living in Barcelona, I live close to La Boqueria or San Antonio. That is the other market, and we used to always go to the supermarket. We love to go there.
So that's something like made me stay in Spain.
And it's nice if you go to your local market and the people comes to know you. And they know what you like, and they sell they have, I have this, and it's like it feels better later. I don't know why.
I know. And this pescaderia, like I buy a tuna, like fresh tuna. So every time I pass by, he goes, "We have a really good tuna today. You want to have it?" Okay, I'm gonna make a sushi tonight.
I'm sorry for the people.
1 kilo of the tuna for the sushi is like a 35 euros. Like
it's very cheap compared to here. Here is, well, depend of the tuna, but you can get very small piece for not some sansen, yonsenen, like 3,000, 4,000 yen. That is roughly that, and it's very small, but it's
very small. It's a good
quality. It's top. But I'm sorry. I think the people in the podcast is gonna say, "Oh, stop talking about fish. We love so much." I eat cocochas today. You know, cococha.
Cocochas.
Like
kama, no? Kama.
Kama, exactly.
Kama?
Buri kama. Man. delicious. Okay,
That's
now
good.
I promise I stop this.
I'm
So,
getting hungry.
and then you stay in Spain on Madrid, and you started working like with your own people,
Independent.
like independently. How? I'm very
So let
interested
me
in that.
explain. So after I like 19 or 18 years of moving around in the world, which is good, depend on the project. So I got to live new country, new city, and discover something new, the culture. It was amazing, making friends. After that, I loving Spain, so I decided I wanted to stay in Madrid or Spain. But to do that, I had to be independent. Like not moving, not depending on the project.
Yes, I know what you mean. Like you have your own decision where you work or from where you work.
Yeah, like free from the place.
Yeah.
So my friend Alberto Miergo is a Spanish director. He got this project from Netflix, Love, Death and Robot.
Yes.
He was directing one of the episodes. And he wanted to do it in Madrid. So I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I left Ideon and then became independent. Then started working with him for this one episode. It's called Witness.
Yes, I love it. I really know very well.
Diego Conte was
he was also in another episode on the podcast.
Yeah, that was okay. He did all the clothes simulations.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it was a really, really great experience. First working with Alberto, he was like a genius artist and director, and friend of mine too. And he's very passionate. So the production was intense, and sometimes we conflict and yelling each other. But,
really?
Overall, because his character, I love him, but his character. But it was amazing experience working with Diego Conte, and Alberto Miergo, and Zeno. He was amazing shaders, and Paloma. Paloma is an amazing character modeler.
Diego commented about Paloma in the podcast. Yeah. I think it was I'm a bit jealous. I know many people that work not only in this The Witness, but in other different short films. I'm very good friend also of the people from Headless. And they directed 3, and I have friends also working at Blur and so on. So I was like super jealous. Like the only thing I had to complain, it was I couldn't do any of this. It's my own.
Yeah.
But it was.
But you will have a chance. They have a season 2 or season 3. I think continuing. I hope so.
I try it, but not for season. I don't think it's gonna happen for season 2. But I hope there's more seasons coming. I hope to have the chance in the future. But definitely it's
this project was a big challenge because Alberto was very picky, and this main character is like a stripper, like a dancer. And he's naked in one of the sequence and dancing. So you have to be like perfect, like any deformation.
Yes, the deformation. It's awesome. All the the anime. For my taste, it was like amazing. This is something I never saw. Like it blew my mind, and I love it. Like, and it was. I think everybody involved, like from animation, art direction, like rigging, deformation, everything. Like, and the story itself, I really like it also. So it was like a perfect, like round, self-contained world there, like
it was kind of like a perfect world. 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Perfect world where everybody's passionate about something. One guy is really passionate about anatomy modeling, and I'm really passionate about the rigging, and Alberto is passionate about the story and the character designing and the camera move and acting. Diego Conte is had a big passion about clothing, the simulation. That's when we used Marvelous Designer, not only for clothes tailoring, but also simulation.
Yes.
Because Marvelous Designer has a really good simulation engine.
Yeah.
But we had to create some pipeline to put this Marvelous Designer into the pipeline systems. But we could do that because we have a really small team.
Yeah, it was like one, like on the, how you say, one time on the life, or I don't know, like these kind of projects that are like, they stick really high from the rest, like really.
This Witness is one of the projects.
And you've been, since then you've been like doing different projects, I guess, and now you move it to Tenerife, and you start in your own company there. So before was like more like independent, and now you establish as a new like studio, like general studio. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not.
Thank you for asking. So
but I'm just curious.
Doing this Witness project, I started developing the rig system from scratch again, from zero, like
again.
Python. Again, yes. Because I put all my knowledge, put everything in the one package, so I had to write from scratch again. And Witness, I was focusing on the facial rig. Though the Witness rig is the facial is my development. And also Wish Dragon. It's but Base FX and Sony, like Chinese dragons animation film.
Yes,
we did all facial rig for all the character for this project remotely to the Base Chinese studio.
Wow.
Then I started developing the body rig system. Then last year, I set up the company. It's called Studio Nowake.
Nowake. I will later add on the notes.
We are developing the website right now. So the website is gonna be published very soon. And this Nowake means like old Japanese word. It means strong wind. It's very ancient, not ancient, but old word, like a strong wind. Like if you're standing in the rice field, all of a sudden strong wind goes through you, and this wind so strong that it split the rice field left and right. That kind of image. That's a Nowake. And also the title of the book from the Soseki Natsume. That's very like 100 years ago. Like he wrote this book 100 years ago. But when I was young, I read this book all the time, and so that came up the name of my company.
I didn't know. I will check that. But it's in Japan you have always these kind of words that have this meaning, and it's very beautiful and poetic at the same time. It's just one nice word. In Spain we will say, is a strong wind, that like super explanation, like we don't have like this. Nice.
Thanks for the Chinese culture.
Really. I don't know, but it's but it's cool. I will say that.
It's cool. So this company is like a more generally like a digital character creation company. Like target industry is not only for animation, like VFX, VR, medical.
Like digital characters digital for any like application. It can
be any application where they need a story. And to have a story to tell, You need like a good script and also good visual presentation. Also, you need a character to tell your story. So that this studio in Wacky is kind of like mission is create a digital character for
the studio will do not only your like the rigging and technical part, but also like the art of the creation, the character and.
Yeah, exactly. Because doing this digital character creation, as I mentioned in early this session, art and technology has to go together.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're only a technology, really good technology, and not artistic background, the character you see on the screen is going into the uncanny valley.
Yes.
Because you don't know how to.
Yeah, I agree with
detail.
That. Yeah. I
and
think...
also if also there's a lot of earlier animation film where the artwork design on the Photoshop is amazing and very appealing. But in the 3D animation in the screen, like a 3D character, it's not appealing.
Yeah, it wash out or like the transition lost something.
Lost somewhere in the process, maybe in the modeling or shading or many cases in the rigging, because rigging had a lot of limitation to make an expression.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, if you can carry on all this in one roof, under one roof, like I feel like sometimes like because it's disconnected some parts, especially in the character pipeline, it limits one to another. Like if you're doing modeling, and modeling needs to be artistical and needs to be like technical at the same time for good deformation and things like that. And if you have good artists and you're lucky, some they are like you will have this base to work on top. But sometimes it's not always like that, and you have a base that maybe it's artistically it's beautiful, but when you try to rig it, there is some technical limitations that maybe if you have it in the under the same roof, it's like better.
Yes, like if we talk about modeling, for example, like their modelers focus really like a detail, which is good. But end up being too much resolution, like a high resolution, and they don't care about the topology, like a line of the edge, like flow of the edge. Then come to the rigging, it's gonna be really, really hard because it may be too dense of the geometry. So animation is gonna have a problem to make a fast animation. Also, if the topology is not great, deformation is not going to be great. So to keep this quality of the character on every process, like there's something really important to keep in mind. But to make everything works, sometimes you have to trade off. Or I don't want to say trade off, but you need to really careful. You need to be careful every steps.
Yeah, I think it's an like a art of balance. Everything. If you go like you put many polygons, of course it looks like, oh yeah, look how many details, but at the end it's not good for the end result because it needs to be moving. If you put not enough, it's same thing. So you need to balance everything in the rigging, I guess. Like it's not like doing everything, it's just doing probably what is the best for the situation. So I understand perfectly, and I think that people will listen this will understand also this.
Especially as a riggers, like this is kind of rigging podcast as a rigger. Rigging it's always kind of the bottleneck, like because your client are animators, and this animation film, it's called animation film. So animation is kind of the main things, and they're like a main actors in this industry. That's our clients.
Yes.
So we have to make them happy.
Yeah. Yes.
To create this rig tool. We are creating the tools for them. But also we have to make like output happy, like amazing. So we always have to fight. Like animator wants to make interactive, very fast rig, but if we have a fast and really right rig, maybe geometry has to be low and not many functions.
Yes.
So it's like always kind of as you said, the balance of the art. Like, so to find a happy point, you need to have both kind of the knowledge or idea, like artistic and technology. And that's kind of like myself found that out of the rigging is that like find the balance.
Yes.
Or like you're the bridge of the art and technology. Yeah. Like I sometimes say this in the animation festival, like being rigger or like character TD is kind of like a Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes, like, I always say the same. It's a Renaissance.
Renaissance, like he's an amazing artist, yes.
Yeah.
But also he actually really into the technology. Like he's an inventor.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because back then there was no differentiation between art and science.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be a good painter, you mix your own colors, and you need to have some basic knowledge of chemicals, how to do nice color, and then you can paint. And that is more in the science than in the art.
Yeah, you can he say, was painting the human body, like really precise. So he end up cutting the body, like checking the inside of the body, how the muscle goes through the inside of it. That kind of like, that's kind of the really extreme example.
Yes.
But overall,
no, it is not. Well, I mean, cutting the people, yes, but
that's something like we have this opportunity in the creation of the digital characters to cover both in a good balance.
Yes. Yeah, this is the part I like the most, because I like the art, but I'm also a geek, and I like the computer and learn programming and do. I build my own machines. Like I don't like. I mean, I don't like to buy the one that is already assembled. I think I never like it. No, so I like to always do my own stuff, and I think this is perfect for rigging, because you have both of these worlds, like artistic and more technical things. I mean, if you want to be there, some people don't, but that's against taste. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is you because you have this. I mean, a part of the services that you want to do on the studio, you're gonna sell also like some like software or like tools for like licensing or something.
Yes, thanks for asking. Yes, so since I started developing the rig system from scratch in 3 years, and now it's become one package of software. So I started licensing.
Do you have something prepared? Can you share some?
Yes, I can share the screen.
Yes, go ahead. I think I already allow you to share. Should be working. Let me know if.
Let me.
Don't worry. I mean, we can edit this if it's taking time.
Okay. Now I can share.
Do you know the button? How to? It's the it's one.
Okay, now it's.
Oh
sharing?
Yes, I have you. Let me put this. Okay, and I put where I put the camera. I'm just looking for a nice place to put the camera. I don't know. On the side, where? Okay, I'm gonna put it here on the display area where the layers are. So I guess should be okay. No, yeah, because we have the cameras overlay.
Okay.
Your and mine, so it's not like covering anything on the screen.
So you still see my face. Okay.
Yes.
So now you see my window?
Yes, it's I can see it.
So you get this menu on the top of the Maya menu. It's this tool is called Wacky Rig Tools, and you have access to all the tools needed for the rigging, like mirroring, template, and control shapes, and pivot and driven keys, and also you can mirror skin in Maya cluster, copy and export data. You export all the data in the rig. It's going to be a one folder.
Nice.
Also, you have a PSD corrective shape and all the tools. And even you can change the project.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you worked on the different project at the same time in the busy production.
Yes.
So you can switch. And everything written in the Python. And this is UI, Wacky Rig UI.
I know the icon now. It's wind.
Yes, wind. This is strong wind. And character, you can do prop and set rig, but focus on the character now. Select the character name. I have this Seira Gozen with my own characters.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this tab, preprocess, new scene, import. So this list is module. So
Mm-hmm.
double click, you have this parameter, like the name of the model file, and the body tab, and config, and you config all the parameters. So this line is a one module. Let's say the facial is like the main layer, brow layers, lids layers, like layers, like a Photoshop. Let's turn off the facial right now. And this is combine and post-release system. Okay. So in the spine, it's like you can define how many number of the joints, bones, like orientations, and IK stretch or IK auto squash. And spine FK control is make it simple or more controls. Like if you put a 5, it's gonna be a 5 animation FK control.
So you have all these settings for each, like part of the body, like component or
component
element. I don't know how do you
parameters. So like arms, for example, you can turn off the IK control. Maybe background character, you don't need IK control, that kind of that. But all IK parameters here, you can turn on and turn off.
Very complete. It's pretty complete. Okay. Like you have a lot of options.
Yes. Then after you can use a model like a pose, then make T pose for animation at the end. So that's kind of
that's interesting. Module. So do you feel the animators ask you for change the rest pose for the animation in T pose instead of A pose?
See, for example, this model is like this is Seira Gozen. This is A pose. It's modeled by A pose, which is more like a natural. Then you rig this character, body rig, and all the way at the end, if you turn on the make T-pose. So the animation is gonna be a T-pose at the default.
So it's gonna reset there. So 0, it's T-pose.
Yeah. So let me rig. So once every parameter is fine, you hit this generate rig.
Yeah, you know.
Then you see go every module one by one.
I see.
This takes maybe minutes.
And with the gear on soft image, we had that the reset was always T. Doesn't matter where. I ended up removing for the other one because nobody would like it. But you have optional here. I didn't have
option. Yeah, the option.
Yeah,
you can keep it as a model default pose, as animation default position.
Yeah, but it's curious. I guess depend of the animator that you work with, you want it or not. But yeah, definitely it's useful to have it as optional thing, so you can always be depending on the client of the animator.
Depend on the client. Depend on the animators.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So now it's a T-pose. So it's a arm is straight and actually the leg is straight.
Yeah, actually I think it's it's good because you start with a clean angle, so you know that if you go down it's 90 degrees. If you go
exactly, like the workspace, the align on the workspace.
It's I don't know why the people ask me on this. I don't know. Maybe they after watching this video the people will ask me again.
This model was for the I'm gonna hide it. So spine is like you have this auto squash. You can be like really cartoony or not.
Are you working all with all the system is working with default Maya nodes, or do you have?
Yeah, that's something my goal for this rig system. I only use Maya default vanilla nodes, not the custom nodes. So if this rig's slow, that's the Autodesk fault. but should be fast enough. And so also in this FK control, I call this reverse FK. Usually FK is only rotate.
That's interesting.
That makes sense. But in my rig, FK you can translate.
Oh, nice.
But that's animator's responsibility because you break the anatomy anyway.
I was about to ask you that. Like, if they break it, they're gonna come. It's broken. I say you broke it.
Yeah, you broke it. But I like it.
I think it's good.
So that's kind of the challenge animator asks. And also you all the FK, then right mouse click, you can switch to IK.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, now you're IK.
Yeah.
And going back to the switch to FK. And also you have this bendable control.
Yeah, it's very, very complete. And so the tool, are you gonna, so how are you gonna distribute it? It's gonna be licensed for the studios that you work, or you want to sell it also like as in a shop, online shop, so every freelance
I'm gonna can develop the website. Yeah, so any production interested in this rig tools, you can download it. And it supports Linux, Windows, Mac.
Wow.
So it's compiled, so you can use it. But once you build this rig, you don't need any.
Yeah, you don't need a tool installed to open the asset.
To open the asset, because it's only Maya plugin.
Yeah.
Only if you want to use this switch FK, IK, that's a script. That's something you need, but that's something I think you can download it for free. So idea is production. I can license the software, and I already licensed a few companies, and I get the feedback and I fixing the bugs. The rig system is kind of the software, so always a bug. So
yes,
I keep, as you know, keep developing, improving, fixing a bug.
And if there is no bug, it's maybe next Maya version will have the bug.
Yeah. So that's, and also we do a rig service. If you need only rig for your animation project, we can rig for the production. That's what we did for Wish Dragons, and also this new Netflix TV series, Trash Truck.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Grand King Productions, the TV series. We did a facial rig for this project.
That was animated in France, maybe?
France, a dwarf animation in south of France, Montpellier.
Yeah. Don't confuse with the dwarf animation in Japan that they do stop motion.
Yeah, they have a stop motion. Yeah, that's true.
It's the two dwarf animations.
So that's what body animation. Now I'm going to build a facial animation.
So in terms of so you have these models, and in terms of so you do like similar to, I don't know if you watch some of the videos I did on the YouTube, like what I call like data-centric rigging, where you extract also a lot of your data so you can rebuild the rig to update and do new stuff.
Yeah.
No, it looks like it's like similar philosophy in terms of how you approach.
Philosophy, yeah, that's the For example, this character is Sailor Gozen, and all the rig data is under the data folder.
Interesting. XMLs.
XML. This XML is control shapes. And driven key is Mel script. There you go. It's very old style. And this is a PSD, corrective shapes data.
Shape. How do you use shape? It's like it's
this is
custom
Maya plugin. I mean Maya branch shape.
Oh really? I didn't know you can export.
Yes.
It's export
the shape. Yeah, you can export the pose.
Shame on me. I didn't know that. It's funny. Well, I use always this plugin called Shapes. Do you know this plugin from Ingo, from Brave Rabbit?
Yes.
It's amazing. I always use this, and he has his own export and import. So I never handle myself that.
Yeah, that must be maybe better, but that
I don't know.
Like I wanted to just use only Maya, like Autodesk. And so skin cluster, like cluster weight is XML. Actually now they support the JSON file, so I might switch to JSON, but now it's XML.
Yeah, we have like a custom format, but I guess I should check what is coming new in Maya in these areas. Oh, nice. It's
so this is kind of the calisthenic.
It comes with the calisthenics. So you do the rig, and also it sets the calisthenic for you.
Add the calisthenic for you to check your rig. You have this. Yeah, there's some module to add a calisthenic.
And can I ask you how is the process to work with the tool? Like, how do you, if you need to start a new character, it's like you take these like elements that you have built, and you just need to adjust some kind of a guide or elements on your face, and it will adapt to each of the new characters.
So process is it's like you turn off everything. You start with maybe here head squelch. Maybe it's gonna give us an error message, but let's see.
Okay, so it builds.
Yeah, it builds. Oh, I will turn on this set visibility. Then it's gonna
to hide this part.
Hide the other body geometries. So now you see this template. So, for example, this one is a head squelch. To define the head squelch, this is a curve. You see this curve. You need to change this curve to have a different setup. So everything you do is in a template. So this one is a reference. So to create a new template, you duplicate this template. Then let's say you want to change this head squelch more.
So basically, the process will be you go one of these steps, or I don't know how you call
steps,
it.
Yeah, module.
Yeah, and you run it that part, adjust the stuff, activate the next one,
adjust stuff. Yeah,
and you go this
then
process.
If you change, you go export tools, export template. Now in your data folder, it's version 13, so you export it. Now it's 14. Increment automatically. Then you go back to your tools, then tell your rig UI. Okay.
Use the next. I see.
Yeah.
It looks very straightforward. Like in the process, I mean, I guess the structure template you provide that. So let's say when the rigger comes to use your tool, you just need to follow the steps that you already set up, updating the stuff, export the data.
Update. You just rebuild the rig. Then it's going to be updated with that template you changed.
It's really nice.
And it's every data is on here. This. That's the body. So that's body, face data. So yeah, face template 14 is updated. So every time you change, you save it in the data folder. And you see this template, everything is, this is for jaw main joint, like a pivot point.
Yes.
So you can change. The good things about this facial rig, for example, I'm going to build.
You can choose what features you want to add.
Yeah.
So
what feature? Yeah. Usually you go from top to down, like one by one.
Can you jump? Like if you don't want the iris control, just uncheck this. And
you can jump. Yeah. Maybe some of the rigging is you have to have this direction eye to have an iris.
Oh, I see.
It's, very good. That's
some
kind
are
of
related.
They have. Yeah. For example, like a squash eye, you can turn off, and then this time I'm gonna skip the face PSD. Maybe no eye, just this.
Mm.
Few seconds. So it's like a fast interaction. That's something I wanted to create these tools for riggers. You can focus on more artistic process, more than solving the technical problem to fixing stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to focus on the diggers to more meticulous, detail oriented. Now we have some. Because I skipped the lips layer, so it's connected with the lower face.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's similar. It's very similar the way I work. I don't know if you saw some of the videos I did, or I explain a little bit the process. It's similar. And I really think is the way to go. Like you need to break down everything in a little parts that are easy to manage and easy to update. And I call on my system, I call these steps or custom steps. So we build like
steps.
Step by step.
Yeah, steps. Yeah.
And
like a modular system.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's very similar. I really like the way that you presented the interface.
Thank you.
Very like clear body part, rig part. It's yeah, I think it's very easy to approach like this when you have the tool that say, okay, this part it's body, this part is fashion, and you have this distinction already like prepared for you.
Yeah. So for example, like okay, this is cheek control and cheek puff like this, but you wanted to change the behavior, and those cheek puff is using the scaling inside of the rig. So scaling is very sensitive with a pivot point. So to change the pivot points, you usually have to go back to the template. But with this rig, select this pivot node in the outliner, and you move.
And you can adjust.
You can adjust.
And it's like a soft mode or something.
It's Maya cluster.
Oh, Maya cluster.
It's Maya soft mode, Maya cluster, but you need to have a kind of special connection. But this is not a custom nodes. Everything's Maya standard node. So rigger, if you are really tech savvy, like the technical guy, you can actually reverse engineering to check the direct connection. So you change the pivot. So you
set in like a prebind matrix or something like that, so you can.
Yeah, prebind matrix, exactly. So now you lead the left.
Oh, nice.
And select this pivot, and you go mirror pivot.
Oh, I see.
So you can change to the left and right, like symmetric. Then after you want to export data, so pivot export, and cheek is one on the lower face, because you see that under the lower face M group, so it should be the lower face, then you export the pivot. And then if you rebuild the rig, again, you're gonna get this change. So it's like a fast interaction, like based on the animator's feedback or something. So
yes, definitely. I think nowadays it's very important, this iteration.
Iteration is very, very important.
Yes. Yeah, because as a rigger, I'm not always sure what is the best. I need to try.
Exactly.
Try and error. Like, of course, I probably can do it faster than person that it's not rigging every day. But and you have some, of course, experience, so you can guess where's the best point. But to make this extra quality step that it's needed for like a top production where it's like the quality is this extra 10% that it's hard to get. It's where this iteration, this fast iteration, it's very, very important, because it's the only way that you can step or like step up the quality. It's like
Yes.
I think it was Pixar to say like fail quickly or something like that. They have this fail fast and quick, and so you can make it better very fast because you failing quicker. So here is the same. If you can adjust quick your parts, you're gonna see where
it's like a 90. Well, it's more 80%, 20% rule, or 90%, 10% rule. Like
80-20. Yeah, I think
90% of the quality can done by 10% of time, but last 10% of the quality is gonna take 9% of your time. So you cannot be perfect, of course. So you rather focus on this last 10% to make it quality better, to more time on your limited of the production time. That kind of that's something I wanted to provide to the riggers and production. So I take this all the technical, solving the technical problem, debugging, fixing, adding some features. You guys focus on the artistic out of the beginning.
Definitely, I will try when you release it. I want to learn, but just a curiosity: are you using which kind of library are you using inside Maya? It's PyML, it's commands.
It's a mix of the Maya command, Maya.command, and PyML.
Yeah,
it's pros and cons.
Yes, I do the same.
Beauty of the Python is you can mix. PyML is good because it's really object oriented.
Yes, exactly.
So once you create object, you actually can call the method with this object.
Yeah, I know some technical people in Maya. They don't like PyML. I'm an unapologetic user of PyML. I use it as much as I can, and if I need speed and some easy, I go for commands. If it's good enough, but I don't like to deal with strings all the time. It's more, and in some situations like OpenMaya.
This Python opened so many possibilities for us. You can access to the Maya API through the Python and this Maya.command or the Mel script. Also, PyML is more. It's not perfect, but pure object-oriented library. So you can choose, and that's something like PyML is not perfect, but it's very useful.
I think PyML, it's for me the only downside. It's some iterations on PyML. If you need to iterate with points or things like that, or it's slower. But if you don't need this kind of iteration, if it's like processing data, it's gonna save you and your much time as a developer, and your code is gonna be much more cleaner and readable.
Py.command is basically Mel script.
It's a wrap.
It's it's very old style in a way, which I still like it.
I guess maybe because I was not Maya user from the beginning. I was Softimage, and I learned.
Softimage was pure more object oriented.
Yes, I learned to program in Softimage with Python, and it was object oriented, so I was very used. And when I went to Maya and I saw Maya commands, I saw PyML, I say PyML.
Yes. Once you start using PyML, like you stuck with the PyML, but sometimes it doesn't work. Like some command doesn't work.
Sometime there and there.
Then I switched to the command Maya.command. So you have an option.
Yes. And you can use both, of course.
So this rig is, if I can talk about a little bit more system. This rig is production ready, so it's model or every model is on the model group, and all the rig is under the rig group. So under the rig, you can see the body rig, facial rig group. So obviously every body rig is under this body rig group.
So you get separated.
Yeah. So it's kind of easy to check, like especially facial rig. Every module layer you set up here. Here, like head sketch is head sketch group. Main layer is main layer group. Browse. So it's like a modular system. And also this for body skeleton, bind body skeleton is outside of the rig system. So you can just bake skeleton and cached.
I really like it. I mean, it's very. I feel very close, you and me, the way that we like to approach the things. I'm happy to see your work, because it's also confirms that I'm also like in a good direction when I you know, some insecurity myself.
Yes. yes, that's true.
But it's
it's a little bit maniac. Like for example, I rename every node. Like I as a rigger, like you have to know what this node is going to do, like doing.
Yes.
If you cannot explain, this node is not needed.
My system, like all the like DAG nodes are renamed, but not all the DG nodes are renamed. I do some, but not like vast majority are not.
DAG nodes should be. DG node. I rename the DG node as much as I can.
Oh, much cleaner than me then. Sorry.
It's like a little maniac.
Myself.
So, but that's the rig system, and it's gonna be released soon, and it's gonna be free for individual, like a student. But the commercial use, it's gonna be a license.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so definitely I will add. Maybe I don't know if your website is ready, but unless I guess you must have like a placeholder or something. So I will put it in the video, the website, even it's maybe nothing yet. So maybe in the future, when the video, I mean this video will be on YouTube for a long time, if the people discover the video and they click, maybe when they watch this, or it's already there. So it's
okay. That'd be nice. Thank you.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. I mean, thanks to you for explaining all this. And I wish I had more time. We hit now hour and a half. What time is here in Japan?
Yeah, I think it's
midnight.
It's about time to wrap up.
I need to do the Cinderella now and go to sleep before.
It's very late in Tokyo. It's still very
midnight.
bright in Tenerife.
It's very. But thank you so much, Hide. I really appreciate you taking time to talk with me and show us all this, because it's always really nice to see work from other riggers and to see, like, I guess I really like to share stuff, but I don't have sometimes opportunity to see from other people what they doing. So it's always refreshing to see colleagues of this profession to how they work, and we should do this more often. And
I really appreciate
and
you are having this podcast for this very small group of the industry, like in this industry, like very niche.
Niche of a niche. But I really like it.
It's really hard to get this kind of the information or like thought from the people.
I think honestly, I think that I started the podcast just because that was like there is a lot of podcasts, and there is a lot of like tutorials, but I think this for our little community was something that there was like space there that nobody was feeling, and I like to talk with people and meet people. It's a good excuse. I will say, like, I learn in every episode. I learn something, and I think this is selfish, but I'm doing it because it's also very good for me to meet people and learn stuff. So yeah, it's a win-win.
I really thank you. Yeah,
thank you so much.
I'm sure it takes time to edit and like organize these things. So, I think all the riggers will appreciate.
Thank you so much.
This channel.